easier. So
how'd you learn how to do all this? Like, you just got curious and...
Well, like I at first just recorded on my phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then what I did is Alan Henderson gave me this mic because
he's
so
cool.
then I just tried to do it and it worked.
It was like a magical orb.
Yeah.
Like you're doing a tarot card reading.
It's bi-directional. See this here and that there. So it, as long as you don't whisper, you'll get a good sound for you, and it'll get a good sound for me. And I think if you listen with headphones, you can tell that one person's on one side and the other person's on the other side.
Oh.
That's
smart. I wouldn't even think to invent something like that.
Well, I didn't invent that.
Well, I know, but the fact that you figured out to get it and then got this and then that,
exactly.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Okay, welcome back to Comedy or Worse.
Comedy or Worse. Woo.
Yeah, I'm here
nice
with a very special guest,
Kristy Matsutani.
Yay!
Woo.
Thanks so much for coming.
No, thank you. I've never done this before, so this is exciting.
Oh, you've never recorded a podcast?
No.
Okay, well, welcome. This is podcasting. It is a video, although podcasting started off just audio. That's just how technology works, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we started painting in caves, or maybe even before that.
And now look at you with your magical microphone orb. If I put my hand over it, is that going to mess things up?
As long as you don't, like... It's like sound, right? Like if you cover your hand, same thing.
That's we can
Yeah, or you like cover. I guess it'd be more like if you cover your ears, it's gonna sound muffled.
Mm-hmm.
So if you cover that, it'll make it sound like you're covering their ears.
Oh.
That's what I think. But what do I know? Maybe it's super technology, and it can just go right through your hand, and you're like, now I have cancer.
Or
no, not really.
I don't know, it's cool. I won't touch it. I will keep my hands to myself.
Yeah, it's mostly we don't want to turn it because, like I was saying before we started officially, it's bi-directional. So hopefully it will sound like I'm on one side and the guest is on the other side. If people listen to it with headphones, it's always better to listen with headphones. That's just headphone technology.
It's true. It's true.
So do you use a stage name?
No. I go by Kristy Matsutani, but people have a hard time pronouncing Matsutani, but I'm still going to keep it.
Yeah, that's no reason to change your name just because people have
it's phonetic, so I'm like, if you can't, I don't think it's that hard.
Right. Yeah. Cool. So how did you get into comedy?
I always been, I think like most, maybe not most comics, but I've always been told to try stand-up comedy, but I had no confidence whatsoever to do that.
I wish people would tell me to try.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
I probably just didn't listen.
Maybe that's true.
I wasn't ready to hear it.
Yeah, same with me. But I've been told since like I was a little kid to try stand-up. But I didn't like actually start until in 2022. I took like the NCT class with Tony Calabrese. And
what's that stand for?
National Comedy Theater.
Okay.
Yeah, and
that's insane.
I had like no self-esteem when I took the class. I was just doing it to like try to get some confidence, but I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. So, but I didn't start like doing open mics or trying anything till last almost 1 year.
Okay, cool, nice. So once you actually started open mics, did you get addicted or?
Oh yeah, I think it's like exposure therapy because I don't know, it's really frightening and it's vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I can be very like you type A, and like I'm a perfectionist though, but with comedy, people aren't gonna like you all the time. You're gonna suck. But I think when you do get that laugh, like you do this too. Like it's like a high that it's very addicting.
Yeah, definitely. I do find too, like when the jokes that I like more work, it's even like an extra level.
Or I found like sometimes it's like the random things that I didn't even think were the punchline. For some reason, that gets a bigger laugh than like what I actually thought would be funny.
Right.
So it's. I'm very ADD. I forgot the original question, but like.
No, it's all good. This is a podcast.
I think like.
This is not a job interview. You got the job.
I think if anyone, like, even if you don't think you're funny or I think comedy is good for anyone to try.
Right.
Just because especially if you have a fear of failure, because with comedy you will fail, but there's going to be so many wins at the same time. So it's a very like cathartic experience for me.
Even in the failure you then learn something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a small win.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So what is your writing process for comedy?
I feel like a lot of the times it's just random things I think about, and I have a lot of friends, and I'll just try it out secretly with them in our hopefully tell them all not to watch, but I'll try it out, and if they think it's funny, I'll be like, oh, good. It's one perk. If you don't have any friends, you should just get friends so you can practice your material in front of nice people, not random strangers.
Sure, I'll get right on that.
Well, you have friends.
Yeah, now
you're
my
like
friends
no,
are like mostly in comedy. Like I'm trying to keep my friends that are not in comedy, but they like live in LA and stuff, or some of them.
But you did IT, didn't you? Or you do? I don't really know.
I had a degree in computer science.
Computer science. Sorry.
Yeah, I had a degree in computer science until they took it away. They were like, "No, you're not smart enough anymore." But yeah, no, just joking. That's not how it works.
Well, that's a good degree to have. Mine is in psychology, which I guess I use in comedy because you have to read people very quickly.
Yeah, but sometimes you can't see them all.
Well, that's like psychology.
What's that?
Well, that's like psychology.
Oh.
Can't. I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway. But yeah, that's my usual writing process.
Is that something that they teach you in, I guess, mob mentality and stuff in psychology?
Yeah, I think so. I think
so why does an audience laugh?
I think, honestly, whatever. One day when I have my own Netflix special, I'll be canceled. But I honestly think when I've noticed when there's a certain type of person in the room, everyone stares at that person of a particular race, and if they don't laugh or they're worried what they're gonna think, sometimes I've noticed some comics bomb because they'll do like a race joke on a specific race, and then everyone looks at that one person in the audience and they're too afraid to laugh. I've noticed this. But
I think that it's possible that I think as a society we can move past that, hopefully.
I think so. I think if you're going to a comedy show, you obviously want to laugh.
It's
and
a safe space. People need to not worry about like what you laugh at something that polite society might think is racist. Oh, none of those people in that room are going to remember.
Exactly. That's why I like doing comedy, because I do feel like society has moved into this very like PC area, whereas a comedy show, it's kind of a free-for-all. I mean, you're at a comedy show, you should know that people are going to be talking about whatever. So that is another reason why I enjoy doing comedy and then hearing other comics, because you can have a way more open conversation than somewhere where there's HR and HIPAA.
Right, yeah. And a lot of that times there's no progress being made if you're not able to talk about things that make people uncomfortable or controversial or whatever. Especially as long as you're not, like, I don't know, this one comic, thank God he stopped doing it, but he was doing this joke. I won't name names, but he was...
Drop the names!
Okay, I'll tell you the name if it might slip out. So if say your name, just know he knows, because I told him right away.
You stink.
I think he was at open mic, and I just felt like I didn't wait until I was next, so I was able to hey, basically was trying to say that he didn't think that men could get raped. And I'm like, that's so wrong. That's part of, that's part of rape culture. It's like, all these myths. It's
you're like, ew.
It's like, what are you talking about? I just couldn't help myself. I'm like, I don't think that.
It's like, I hope you don't find out the hard way, so I'll let you know vocally you can.
Right.
But I can have someone show you that you can.
There's it's like, people have found that when you're scared, you can't always control what happens. I don't want to go into too many graphic details, but sometimes, anyway, so I'll stop talking about it.
Well, that's good he stopped.
Yeah, thank God he stopped that joke, because that was like, sometimes it's like the misinformation is so harmful to society. You just have to say, please don't do that. Here's the facts. I don't know if I asked him to please don't do that. I was just telling him you're wrong. Yes.
One, not funny. Two, you're wrong. Well, that's good. See, way to contribute to society with humor.
Yeah, try to. Let's see. So, do you remember? I just asked this to everybody. Most times I don't even remember the answer. But do you remember when we met?
I met you. No, the first time I ever saw you was when they still did the open mic here, and you did your pretzel song. But we didn't officially meet, but that's the first time. Obviously, no one can forget your routine.
Sure. I'm not going to do it now, though.
You could.
Because no one's going to forget, so.
Well, that's true. The ones are your hardcore fans like us. We remember. We remember. But I think the first time I talked to you was...
Did you make an appointment?
No. I think I walked up to you. It was at, what's his name? Ace's open mic at her. Whatever, the one that has the karaoke.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice.
So I'm a stalker. I remember exactly when I met you. I remember who you were with.
Wow. Okay, well, that's good. I'm so glad.
It's psychology. You have to remember. I'm so glad
that I was able to miss all the signs and invite you on.
That's why I'm here now.
I'm so glad you told me.
Yeah.
So now I know. So, have you ever traveled to do comedy?
Not yet. That is, I guess that's the goal. I want to definitely try, since we're so close to LA, start doing shows there. I think
So is the goal just to jump right from nothing to shows, or go there and do open mics? Or?
Oh, I would say open mics.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I would love to go and just do shows too.
I don't know what type of show that would be. But yeah, that would be the goal, I would say. I think for me, I didn't even, again, not to sound pathetic, but I have very low expectations for doing stand-up. So I've been pleased that it's gone well, and that I've been doing shows now quite often around here pretty quickly. So it would be nice, though. I'm thinking hopefully next year to start going to LA or maybe Vegas or Austin, branching out more.
Yeah, cool. So what are your goals in comedy then? What's the ultimate goal?
I would love to do it full time. I think right now, because I do work full time as a property manager. Okay. I kind of was set on more doing that, but then since comedy has been going a lot better than I thought it would, I'm maybe it would be great to actually pursue it full time. But who knows?
Cool. So do you have any passion or hobby that's not related to comedy?
I feel like it's taking up a lot of my time now. I'm obsessed with my dog. I think most millennial girls, we all got a dog during COVID.
Wow.
Most of us.
No cats?
I'm allergic to cats, which is very annoying. Because I joke that I come off like a lesbian cat lady. But I'm straight, and I'm allergic to cats. Because God hates me. So that's why I'm debating about believing in him. But
So you would want a cat?
I would. I Like, I scream cat lady. I scream like I should have 12 of them. And they should all have crocheted sweaters. And that I should have a hole. But I'm allergic. So my dog is like, he's like shaped like a cat, so it's close enough.
Sweet.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
But
That's good.
yeah, if I could, my hobby would be cat lady. But dog lady is close enough.
Yeah. Definitely. So what do you said you had friends outside of comedy. What do you do with your friends?
Oh, I mean, we're pretty basic. We're not. Like, I don't know. I think I've always heard girls being like, we're so weird. I'm like, no, we are the first in line to get pumpkin spice lattes. We spend too much money at brunch. I'm a proud Disney adult. If I was a millionaire, I would be at Disneyland all the time. But I'll do that a lot. My friends, I don't know, we see a lot of like shows, musicals.
Cool.
Gotten into a lot of like the comics here. I feel like are all friends with each other and no one else, which is weird to me because I don't know. No offense, but I'm always like, oh no, because you have to practice your material on non-comic people.
Right. Yeah, I guess just with my life, it's like I work for a comedy club. I'm doing comedy, running, open mics.
Oh yeah, your whole world.
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to start to work out again.
Oh, that's good.
So maybe I'll make a.
Well, I should do that too. We can start together.
Okay.
That's one hobby I want to do that I don't do.
Do you have a membership to like a gym?
No, but I did. I've definitely been that moron. That's like, I'm gonna go all the time. And then I did January to March.
That's not too bad.
I tried. I got through the third of the year. But then they make you pay for the whole year. So, I know. I've fallen for it.
I'm just paying month to month.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah. I feel like I would have had a membership the whole time, but like COVID, like they stopped the subscription, which made sense because I couldn't go to the gym. And then if you didn't respond to emails or whatever, they just dropped you.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of good though, because I feel like most companies, they'll keep you on forever until you personally realize what is on my bill. Yeah. I'm in a gym, and then you have to call 4 people to get off.
Yeah, maybe they would have, but the card expired or something. I don't know.
Oh.
I just wasn't really thinking. I was like really concentrating. When
well, you do a lot.
Yeah, when lockdown got lifted, I wasn't thinking of going back. But now I'm back. Supposedly, I had a good streak when I joined the gym, and now it's looking like I'm gonna just not go, and then have to cancel because it's a waste of money.
No,
but we'll see.
Do it.
See if
Be a tag team.
Well, I think what I'm trying to do right now is bank. I got low on recorded episodes of the podcast, and now I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna bank all these episodes. Bam, 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 bam. So yeah,
you could do your episode like at the gym.
Okay.
Yeah, you can walk on treadmills, ask questions.
Okay, next one. Yeah,
branch out of Madhouse.
We'll go to the gym and
that'll go viral. People can see me failing at lifting. I look like, I don't know if you've watched SpongeBob, right?
Yeah.
But I literally look like SpongeBob when he's trying to lift the 2 stuffed animals, and he's like, ugh. So you probably get more views.
Sure.
Me fail.
That's cool. So do you wish that you started comedy earlier?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think because even though, I mean, obviously some shows have totally like bombed and was like, oh god, but like, I think for me it's been cool because, not to toot my own horn, but I always did feel like I was funny.
Yeah.
But but to like now kind of have confirmation that I am, and that like people actually do enjoy my rambling is like, so that's been nice. I don't think mentally though I was ready to do. I think if I tried, say if I was in my early 20s, I don't think mentally I could have handled it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if I would have tried it in the early 20s, like hecklers and other comics teasing you. I just wouldn't even when I know someone's just joking around. I just couldn't handle it.
Oh no, I probably would have ended up like addicted to heroin and died. I think because like I'm 30 now, so I think we're old. No offense, but we're older, so it's like I'm lumping you with me. But
I could be your dad, so yeah.
Well, like we like more. No, I think I'm 30, so like I'm still trying to explore who I am as a person. But like sure. I think there's some comics who start like Dave Chappelle started like 17. But that's what he was supposed to do. Like, if I started that young, God knows who I would be now. Yeah. So, in a way, I do wish. But also, I would have ended up a disaster.
All right. Cool. So, do you have, like, a favorite joke or something? Could be anybody's joke. Or a favorite style comedy?
I mean, my favorite's Robin Williams, but that's like not my style at all. I'm not smart enough to be at that level ever.
Well, some of that when he was on cocaine.
Well, I'll give it a swirl next time. But like, I think watching him, because he could do so many accents, but he also, I think his jokes like referenced the state of society, but he did it in like a hopeful way.
Yeah.
But yeah, his I feel like is more like an essence though that I don't know will ever come again. But I'm very grateful to have grown up with it.
Yeah, cool. Do you have like a favorite fan interaction? Either someone was a fan of your comedy or you were a fan of someone else's comedy?
I think personally for me, I get excited when I would say like young women come up to me after and they really like it. Because I'm like, oh, good. Like, I'm glad. Because, like, I joke a lot about, like, because I'm very mentally ill, so I joke about that a lot. But, like, when I'm told, like, oh, that actually, like, I related so much and it actually made me feel better because you said it in, like, a funny way. For me, I get very encouraged because then it's like we're not just doing comedy. We can actually, hopefully give some laughter and make people feel better through that. That's been nice. I think... For me, that person is like, I like Taylor Tomlinson. I think she is very good about joking about her experiences of like her mom passing away. Yeah. Or
so did you ever meet her?
No, I would love to. I know she like started out here though, but she also is one of those who started super young. So sometimes I'm like, if I just started when I was 18, and then my other doubt is like, you're not as funny as her. What the fuck are you talking about? You would have stepped whatever. But like, but I think she's very good about talking about mental health and like being just a woman in this day of age, and it's very helpful for me on a psychological level. So when I get comments from like other people who are like, oh, I like how you talk about mental health, that helps me not feel so alone. I'm like, yeah.
You're like, yes, can I recommend other people? Start recommending
Here's my therapist card. My psychiatrist. No.
Cool. So what's your favorite place to do comedy right now?
I really got excited to do, I'm going to be on the third time, Comedy Heights for me, with Maria and Al Gabi. I was like super excited when I was allowed to be on that show, because...
So they reached out to you? Or?
Oh, I was on a show with Maria, at Regal Bar, and I was so excited because she was like, oh, I like you. I want you to be on my show. And I was like, gotcha. But I was like, I wasn't so desperate sounding, hopefully. Right. But I wanted to be on Comedy Heights because what year was it? 2021. I went to a Comedy Heights show. This was before I was thinking of ever doing stand-up, really ever. And I went to a Comedy Heights show. And I had a terrible day. I was like getting out of like a terrible relationship. I had to go to court. It was awful. And I remember my friend was like, let's go to this comedy show. Like, you'll feel better. Yeah. And like, yeah. And then she also was like, you should like be on the show. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, Nora? But yeah, I remember being at that show and like they were all so funny. And like it did make my day a lot better. And like the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, well, if I ever did stand up, I would love to be on this show. So
that's so cool.
For me, that probably I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh.
Sounds like a great bookings store. Must have been outside.
The cops downtown.
I thought that was something else. Yeah, there's cops outside. They're not talking to us.
Never know. I'm trying to get
I
in.
don't think so.
Oh,
They would knock
I should
on the
probably
window.
I should probably say Madhouse though. I've been on Madhouse a couple of times.
Oh, cool.
Oh, the one
No, this isn't about that.
Madhouse.
This is not a test.
Please book me. No, I was on a show twice here. I did Stood Up Live.
Okay.
But I was mad. I don't care if they listen. Whatever. You should tell them twice this. I'm still mad. And so are the other ladies.
Yeah.
Because they didn't tell us that The Bachelor or whatever was a 21-year-old. I felt like a pedophile. And then on mine, he's like, oh, like an older woman. I'm like, I'm not that old. But to him, probably. When I was 20, I think, I don't even know if he could drink. I'm like, how are you allowed in here? He was a
Well, if
baby.
he was 21, then.
I don't know how old he was. But
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he was a baby. He was like, oh, I'm my sophomore year at SDSU. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I know it's not real, but I'm like, ugh. Because you have to kind of flirt with them, you know. And I, one, don't know how to flirt. And two, he was a baby, so I was an awkward pedophile. And then, like, I was mad.
Right. It doesn't. Not quite a pedophile, thank goodness.
And all my friends who've done Stood Up Live, I asked them, oh, what type of jokes are you supposed to do for the show? And they're like, you can do anything. You should not do anything. You should definitely do a set about dating. Because my set made no damn sense.
Well, what are you going to do?
And this is why I said Comedy Heights, Aaron.
That makes sense. Makes sense. So what was your family life growing up?
Oh, it was weird. I don't know. I guess weird is subjective, but I grew up in a pretty nice area. It's like Rancho Penasquitos.
Okay.
It's like the suburbs of San Diego. The good blue ribbon schools. Like pretty traditional Asian Japanese family. But my dad passed away when I was 13.
Oh.
And then kind of the whole time my mom, I don't know, menopause hit her wrong, and so she was a bit bonkers. So she was already bonkers, so then when he died, we had to move in with his coworker, who pretty much looks like you, but older.
Oh, okay.
And he's like from Kansas City, Missouri, so it was a bit of a culture shock because we didn't know him.
Yeah.
But I do joke that, like, my sister and I were like the replacement Asians, because he had like an adopted daughter who killed herself.
Oh, no.
And so he got us.
That's awful.
I know, I laugh. It's probably not funny. But yeah, he took us in as so my teens, I grew up with him and his wife. But then like 2 years living with them, they got divorced.
Wow.
And I never saw her again. I actually liked her more. So it was a bit brutal for me. And then we mostly like lived with him. So that was pretty much the short story.
Wow.
of
So what's your earliest memory?
of like life in general, or like
You woke up this morning.
no, sometimes I don't know about you, but I dissociate. I don't even know. I don't remember what I ate like the day before. Does that ever happen to you?
You're not
You, like,
supposed to remember.
forget?
If you remembered all the details, then
That would be a bit scary.
Yeah.
I remember the details of when I met you, saw you the first time, and then the first time I spoke to you, and then here we are. And I remember every detail of how much I cringed on Stood Up Live. Other than that, I forgot everything. I've forgotten everything.
Yeah, it will come back to you. Don't worry.
It's just the haunting memories. I don't know. I remember like a lot of the time my sister and I would like, we had a bunch of toys, and I have memories all the time of us playing with the toys
Yeah.
from early childhood. And then I love my grandma. I remember her. But other than that,
That's cool. So your sister is older or younger?
a
Older.
couple of years. But we're very close. But she does opera in Minnesota.
Oh wow. Well,
That's one good thing about moving in with white people, because they let you do what you want to do. So she got to join the choir in high school, which my Asian parents never let her do. So, but now she's a professional opera singer, so it works out.
amazing.
The point is, white people are better than us.
Okay.
But I am grateful. I honestly am.
You know, I think you're talking about America, right?
Huh?
Aren't you talking about America?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like culturally.
So I wouldn't. I know there's a lot of people that equate white people to America.
Oh no, I mean like
America
culture.
is it's a melting pot. Right?
Yeah. No, I mean like I joke culturally with white people. We were like allowed to try things.
Sure.
Although I still had no self-esteem until like what, a year ago. So.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, for my sister, I'm glad, because she joined choir in high school. She's very good. So then she went to college for opera, and then
Nice.
she does it in Minnesota now.
So why Minnesota?
Honestly, I think she stayed because her husband is there. But she's in like the Minnesota State Opera. There's actually more opera stuff in Minnesota than here.
There you go. That's a good.
And
reason.
also my mom and I are terrible, so she has to stay as far away from us as physically possible.
Oh, that's sad. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I'm not going to argue. I don't know you well.
Are you from here?
I grew up in Santa Rosa. It's up.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then you just came down here?
I moved to San Marcos when I was 18 to live with my older sister,
Oh.
and then we ended up moving back to Santa Rosa for a bit, and then decided to move back to San Diego. Like the weather better here.
Oh, yeah. Same. And then you've been in San Diego since?
Yeah. Only was in Santa Rosa for like a year and a half or so in my 30s.
Cool.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Back in the day when we had MySpace.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the biggest audience that you perform for?
Comedy? Comedy was like, I didn't even think it would be that big. It wasn't even a big show, but it ended up being at this, I forget, Tommy V's Kitchen in Carlsbad. Like, I don't even think that audience realized that a comedy show was about to be happening.
Wow.
But not to brag, but I did pretty well. So, it was pretty packed.
That's awesome.
But I used to be religious, so probably like the biggest I used to sing at church. It was like a mega church, so that crowd was probably like the biggest. But comedy wise, I would say that one.
Oh, cool. So do you still sing, or?
I like singing, but I'm not religious really anymore. So
all the songs you know, you gotta get new songs. Is that what you're
yeah. Well, I am pretty good because I played violin for a long time, so I'm horrible at like every sport ever, and I think that's why God gave me a gift for like memorizing music pretty quickly, because He forgot sports or any coordination whatsoever.
Well, it takes a lot of coordination to play violin, right?
It's more like, I feel like if you're tone deaf, you're screwed for violin. That's why people who are tone deaf can play piano or guitar, because you just put your hand on a certain fret. But with violin, there is no placement. You have to know, and you have to hear it. So if you're tone deaf, you're never going to hear if you're out of tune. But again, I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, I want to eventually, like, for comedy, try to incorporate, like, maybe more singing, but I'm inching my way along the self-esteem train.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you ever do, like, a character on stage? Or act out?
I imitate my mom a lot. I would probably say that's the closest.
Oh, cool.
'Cause she has, like, a stereotypical Asian accent, which, like, someone could be like, that's racist, but it's not. If you met her...
No, it's not racist.
Well, there's some people, if you do accents, they're like, you're discriminating.
You are the same race.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, as her.
And I'm like, that's my mom. That's literally how she sounds like.
Yeah,
so, and she's funny. So.
Yeah, like if I try to do it, then.
I don't know. I think like even with like Ron Williams, he did every accent. If you do it in a respectful way, and as long as you make fun of every race all at once, you're fine.
Right. Yeah. And also, people have to remember that it's really culture, because we're all humans.
Yeah, exactly.
We can, just like dogs, right? Well, even more than dogs, because some dogs need intervention to breed. You know, but well, I guess some humans need intervention to breed, but there's a lot of people that can just breed naturally, and then their children can have children, so we're all the same species. That was the point. Yeah, you don't see dogs going, oh, you know, you're the wrong type of dog. You know?
Although I don't know if he gets it from me, but my dog's pretty judgmental. Not to like other dogs.
Right.
Actually, no, he kind of is. He like he's gay, so he loves male dogs usually, but they had to be bougie. Like he loves like the Labradoodle or like Huskies. He like loves and then like any like Chihuahua, he like does not like them. But I think it's because he is from Mexico, so he's like, I'm above you now. So he really likes the bougie dogs. And then for humans, he like really likes pretty girls. For men, he's like very shy. He's just like, okay, I'll let you touch me, but I don't really. But like young females, he'll like leave me to go talk to them. I'm like, excuse me. So
You're leaving me.
he's kind of an elitist. Like I've noticed, like uglier. All dogs are cute, but like the uglier, poor-looking dogs, he's like, I am above you. And then like the bougie ones, he's like.
Oh, that's interesting.
But that's true. Dogs are way more accepting. But he might get it from me. Maybe I give off that elitist energy.
Yeah, you never know.
Never know.
Let's see. So, have you ever won like a comedy contest or anything like that?
No, I've never tried. I need to ask around of where to start. Have you?
No.
Do you know any, like, for a beginner to start?
There are things that I'd have to look at. I don't know what's going on right now. I think a lot of the contests are over for the year, because usually they start earlier in the year.
I know Mic Drop had, like, their March Madness comp, but I didn't know about it until I was like, whoa. That would have been one I would have tried, but I didn't know. Yeah. But for me, like, again, it's been a very, like, inch by inch. Anytime I get picked for a show or anything, I'm like, oh, cool. So hopefully, contest, that would be cool.
Cool. So, let's see. How far would you go to do comedy right now if you did get booked?
Oh, I would go anywhere. I mean, I don't have kids, so I'm lucky that way. I mean, other than my dog son. But I could just take him, so. Yeah, I don't know.
Sweet.
Probably anywhere.
So would you ever, like, go to Austin, try to be on Kill Tony or something?
I've only watched, like, TikToks about it. I think I would need to watch more exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
So you do a minute of comedy.
Oh.
And then you get interviewed.
A minute?
Yeah, it's crazy.
God.
Yeah, so you have to really do a good minute, I guess.
Jesus, I feel like 3 sometimes even hard, like, cause like even 3, if you say though your first line wrong, you're fucked. So I don't know, Kill Tony, you breathe, and if you breathe wrong, it's over.
Yeah, it's not easy.
I didn't even know what he looked like until the Tom Brady roast. I didn't know he was an actual person. I just thought it was called Kill Tony. I don't even know why my brain. I had no idea what it was. But like doing comedy, people are like, Kill Tony. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Right.
I thought it was a pizza shop at first. And then I saw him on the Tom Brady roast, and I was like, that's him. That's it. But have you gone? I know Ellis. I think
I've been on Kill Tony.
Oh,
right before lockdown.
Oh, do they so they bring you on the stage and you do a minute?
Yeah, you do a minute and then they interview you.
Oh.
And it's like, they kind of roast you.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
I might cry.
natural styles.
Oh.
Roast people.
What did you talk about? Did you do your song's longer than a minute?
I was 14 months in, so I did material I'm not really doing anymore. Although I might kind of bring it back. I don't know. Yeah.
That's cool.
And then I had a great interview. So.
Oh, I need to watch it.
Yeah, I'd like
Send
to
me
do it again.
Send me the link later. Then I can know more about Kill Tony. Then
Sure.
eventually.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot of San Diego comics that got up because it was before they moved to Austin. They were based out of LA.
Oh.
And then they would come, the LA Comedy Store, the original Comedy Store. So then they would come sometimes to the La Jolla Comedy Store.
Oh.
So they had 2 shows back to back on the same night. I got up on the first one.
Oh, that's cool. I'm sure. Yeah, I want to watch now. People's. Yeah, I just seen like TikToks of I forget. They're all blurring together. I think Shane Gillis was one of the judges, and he was dressed as Trump.
Huh.
And then the other guy who I think performed in La Jolla was like Dr. Phil. Or was he Biden? I forget. And then... But I forget who the comic even was. I was distracted by like the judges.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. So what's the worst thing about comedy right now?
The worst thing about comedy. I think sometimes it's my own like inner self-doubt, or like I feel like, oh, the scene's just very saturated.
Right.
There's just a lot of people, but it doesn't mean we have to be like discouraging to one another. I think there's like space for all of us.
Yeah.
But I think my own self-doubt sometimes is like, oh, like shouldn't be doing comedy. There's already like a bajillion other Asian American comics out there. We do not need another one, blah 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 blah. But then I'm like, no, I think all of us are allowed to like take up space. But so it's not really like what's wrong with comedy, it's more like my own warped vision of what
I wonder what the
happens.
statistics are. Like there's probably less, I know there's less females in general.
Oh no, again, like I'm psycho, so my own brain will literally be like, oh, like she was really good, I'm not gonna ever be in there. Or sometimes I'm even the opposite and I'm like, why is she on Netflix and not me? Like I don't
I
understand.
can't even imagine having that. Oh, there's too many white male comics. I shouldn't do comedy.
Well, that's why like I do a set too. I do a set like one of my, I'm not gonna say in like a joke form, but like a lot of people I know don't like Trump, but like whether you like him or not, I'm just always impressed that every day he wakes up and he's just like, me, like out of anyone in the whole world, he's just like me, like I should be president. Like even though he's hideous, he doesn't have pretty privilege, he's like very obese, he got shot almost in the face, and he still wakes up and he's like, yeah, me. Like whereas me, I'm like anyone but me. I'm like inching, trying to,
that's
so
the catch-22 of the way we have our politics right now is that the people that want to be in politics maybe shouldn't.
yeah, exactly.
They're a different kind of weird than us comedians, right?
Yeah. Like, just like I think sometimes it's not like what's wrong with comedy, it's more like sometimes I feel like it's overly saturated, so it feels a little...
Comedians?
Yeah, it's just like...
Away?
No, I just think I think some of us who might feel a little overwhelmed by it all just like know that we're funny too, and are allowed to take up space and say what we want to say as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you're funny. You should, do comedy and tell
Better than your ex-friend who was joking about men not getting raped.
Yeah. Don't ever do that joke again.
He's crossing it off.
I'm pretty sure he's not going to, but you never know. Sometimes you retire a joke to see, maybe I can figure out how to make it funny later on.
Yeah, I remember hosting like an open mic, and someone was testing out like, I think this was when like Drake and Kendrick were having their like rap feud, and then like he did this joke about pedophiles, but then he transitioned it to how he, instead of being a pedophile, he beats up his wife. It was so awkward and I was just like, what? Like, it was just so awkward. Wow. I was like, should we call the cops, or was that a joke?
Yeah.
Did someone record that so we can use it in case she wants to file charges?
You've seen David Diaz, right?
No.
Okay.
I should look that up too.
When he started, it was like some of the stuff was kind of scary, but he's like learned to like not be as scary, I think, which is good.
That's good. Yeah. I think with this guy, everyone was just kind of surprised because he doesn't come off. I don't know.
That's the problem, right?
I also was like, he's ugly. How does he even have a wife? That was my more concern.
Right. Yeah.
But then I'm like, why are you saying you beating up?
Psychology that looks doesn't.
When women really settle.
The outside doesn't reflect the inside.
Yeah, my whole time was, and I was like hosting it, so I had to go up after and try to like. I think I made like some like we all hate Chris Brown joke. I don't know, but I was just like, this is so uncomfortable. How to?
Yeah, that's the skill of hosting, right? Is get the show back on track.
Mm-hmm. You have to find a common enemy that's not beating up your wife.
Yeah.
But I was like, did someone record that in case she wants to use it in court when it eventually goes there? I was like,
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Like, I had a joke where I was like, have you ever laundered money in different places? And then people were making jokes like, oh yeah, that's real. I'm like, no. It just sounded funny to me. I've never laundered money ever. I mean, sometimes you accidentally wash money.
Yeah.
That's
but that's like tame. That's not hurting. I don't know. Anyway.
Exactly. I don't want to hurt anybody. We're supposed to make the world a better place.
Yeah, I mean, you could still joke about certain things, but when it's like too close to home,
yeah, or too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So is there like a style of or would you have you ever done improv, or would you like?
I think that would be good. I think because I can definitely work on it. I'm easily distracted, even like on stage. If there's like an accidental disruption, I can get a little bit lost sometimes. So I think improv would be good because you have to be used to that. I did watch when Whose Line Was It Anyway was touring, so I saw them at the Balboa Theater.
Wow,
and
cool.
Man, it's incredible. You had to, someone shouted out topics, and I think it was like the one they ended up having to do was like Bridgerton in the Mesozoic era. So they pretended to be like dinosaurs in England. It was like insane, and they made this up in like 2 seconds.
Wow.
So that I think that would be fun, but
yeah, that sounds fun. I think with improv, the hard thing is like remembering all the history and going, oh, yeah. That would be a hard part.
Mm-hmm. I'm not knowledgeable enough about periods I don't know if that would be for me, but I like the speed in which their brains work is very impressive.
Whose Line Is It Anyway? I feel like sometimes the most impressive one is like where they do a song.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what? Not only are they coming up with stuff,
they did
like rhyming or just going to.
It's crazy. I'm also impressed with the pianist too, because they give her completely different styles, and she just makes it up. Obviously, she has probably a certain rhythm she has to keep with, but I'm like, she plays completely different styles the whole time. And then they did like a song at the end, and they tied it into like, they were making fun of this couple that was in the front the whole time. I think they were like co-workers who were secretly dating. Mm-hmm. So, but they made like the whole show about it. And it was just very impressive. So I don't know if I would ever do that, but it would. I know I think the class I took the comedy at does improv. So I'm going to sign up.
Yeah, I'm really close to signing up, but
That's again, we can do that too. We can go to the gym and fail, especially me, and then we can do the improv class after.
all right, I'm up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me. I think Thursdays would work. How about you? Thursdays?
I think I get off 5:30 on Thursdays, so
Oh yeah.
should work. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's figure out which one is Thursday and sign up.
I probably can commit more to the improv. The gym, I've committed so many times to the gym and have failed.
Oh yeah.
I just don't like it. I feel like a little rat in a cage.
Well, I think the improv is like a gym, right? Because you're gonna move around.
Maybe I can improv always doing like gym stuff. So we could do a 2-in-1, save money.
Yes, exactly. And then also they had studies where if you think of when they told people that had physical jobs, like, oh yeah, what you do in your job, that's like working out, and that helped them than the people that didn't think a physical job and move, or even like doing short chores or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, you're doing chores, right? So that's like it's like you're doing exercise. So it's kind of like a mental thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Yes. So do you have any merch?
No. I the last show I was on, this one girl was selling stickers, which I feel like if I was to I also need to work on barking more. My friend Mel, Mel Wiseman, she has a sticker that has her dog on it, and then it has a QR code to her link tree. So I should probably do that.
Yeah.
My dog's very photogenic. I should start holding him out.
Yeah, absolutely.
His picture. People should have him on stickers.
Yeah, you should bring your dog to Quantum Brewing.
Oh yeah, I have a few times. The guy who owns it always gives him treats. Problem is, Bonbon's so cute. I don't want him. He's like Beyonce. I don't want him stealing my glory.
Right.
He's too cute.
It's true.
He's very photogenic.
That's
I don't want to be Kelly Rowland.
Right. I don't know who that is.
That's a Destiny's Child. It was Beyonce, and then it's the other two. So I brought my dog.
Right.
I'm the other two that no one knows.
Your dog is like Beyonce.
He is Beyonce, and he knows it. And if we were anywhere, he would let me know.
Yeah.
But yeah, stickers.
Yeah, stickers and then just.
Although at these comedy shows, comedy obviously makes no money, but I feel like I do make more than most because every show I get some old man who gives me cash as a tip.
Really?
So that's been nice.
There you go.
So maybe I should, certain people, give my sticker.
Yeah, here's the QR code. It goes right to my Venmo.
My Venmo. My Zelle. But for everybody else, Bonbon stickers.
Makes sense. That's good. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? That doesn't mean we're ending necessarily.
Oh no, I like asking. I always feel, other than therapy where I'm paying her to ask me questions, I like asking. I'm usually asking people questions instead of being asked.
Cool.
But how did you think of your the pretzel? I'm sure you get it asked all the time. But how did you think of?
What's cool is I started to, tell a joke and then tell the story behind the joke. So I've told this story a few times on stage. I don't think I've told it on the podcast, but who would know? But here it is anyway. If you don't like the story, then don't listen. If you've heard the story before, I might add new details.
That's right.
Okay. So do you remember Twitter?
Yeah. I don't get why articles still put X, formerly known as Twitter. It's we know what X is now.
This is
they just don't like Elon.
Right.
People are haters.
But on there, just one of the people I followed just had a tweet that says, "I love a good pretzel."
That's a solid tweet.
I'm like, oh my god. And then I just said, oh, I wonder what about an evil one? Oh, I bet they're really twisted. Right? So then I'm like, oh, how am I going to make this into a joke? So what I did is I invented a girl. And then I just made it that she said that. Yeah.
Does the person who made the tweet know that she
No, he
caused, or
so,
whoever made the tweet? Does he know?
I'm a fan of him,
that
so he's semi-famous. So if I ever have a chance, then yeah, I will tell him. But unless he wants royalties, then that's like no, because that's not enough of the.
What's your favorite pretzel?
I
like Wetzel, but like they've put too much salt sometimes. I think Annie's is better.
I just actually went to Costco, and I got pretzels that had chocolate, but it was also like they had the thin mints.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy.
What?
It was like, and I gotta like get that again because it was really good.
Do they only sell it during like Girl Scout time?
I don't know. Just Costco is like they just get stuff at a discount and then they sell in bulk, so you don't always get to.
It's not always
buy
the same
stuff, so I don't know if it's ever going to be there again.
Oh,
So I just bought one bag,
that sounds good.
and I was just using it as a dessert because it was chocolate covered.
No, that sounds.
It was basically thin mints, but instead of the normal stuff, it was a pretzel, and it was shaped like a pretzel too. So it was basically, I think it was just a pretzel that was then covered in the thin mint stuff somehow.
Oh, that sounds good.
So
now I want one.
It really was good. I wish I would have bought more, but I didn't.
Now you'll think about it forever.
So yeah, I will always remember. Now I'm gonna have to eat a thin mint and eat a pretzel at the same time. So it's not the same.
It's not the same.
You have to take the thin mint and cut it open and take out all the. No, that won't work. I don't know how to do it. Never do it.
No, we'll figure it. Gotta look this up.
Yeah.
Make sure Costco gets that back.
Yeah, definitely. I have thought about doing pretzels as a giveaway, but like at Quantum Brewing, he like sells snacks. I mean, he has snacks available, but he doesn't really push them.
It's funny because he like pushes the dog stuff and then the human stuff. He's like, eh. That's why I'm like, I like him as a person. I'm like that too. I'm like, dogs. Like dogs should be allowed on planes, not babies. So I like him. He's like, yeah, here's all the dog merch. And then humans, he's like, oh yeah, we have some stuff. Don't really care.
Right.
How did you meet him? Did he just offer Quantum, or did you already know him? And then he was like, oh, you could do your open mic here.
Just kind of because there was an open mic at Mic Drop, and the first time I went to Quantum, I didn't have a car at the time, and I was just taking the bus over to Mic Drop.
Oh,
and
that's far.
So then I would get, trying to be early, and I'd get there too early, and I was like, oh my goodness, okay, what am I going to do? So it was close to the bus stop, or it wasn't that far from Mic Drop. So the first time I went there, it was like comedy had just happened the day before.
Oh.
And then I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then the next time I came, like I guess the next month, they were going to have a comedy show the next day. So I just started talking to the bartender, who is the owner, and I was, I said, how do I get on the show? And then I kind of got the vibe that he wanted comedy more often, So I was like, oh yeah, I could do that. I didn't have a car at the time. I didn't have equipment, but I knew a lot of comics.
Mm-hmm. Feel like I can bring people.
Yeah, so I was right. I was able to do it. It's been going on for over a year.
It's already been over. Oh yeah. No, I mean I'm appreciative of it because like right when I like more committed to doing open mics and comedy, Madhouse stopped doing it. And I was like, no, and then I was like, is this a sign from God to like call it quits? But then you started that one. I was like, oh sweet, cool. And it's convenient because Mic Drops is like right after if someone wanted to go. Or no, now
anymore.
theirs is Thursdays. That's fine.
For a while I had it on Thursday and Friday.
But now it's Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, and then it's just like I wanted to open up Saturday, but I could tell that he wasn't down to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And then also Thursday night football started back up, so we just kind of compromised and had it Friday, Saturday.
I think Friday, Saturdays are more.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to get Saturdays up as good as Fridays, but Friday is the more popular day. But I also think that it's always going to be like that.
Yeah.
You know, there's always going to be a day that's more popular than the other day. So I just kind of have to, accept it.
No, but I mean, I appreciate it because, I mean, especially being newer, like, to have a good open mic that is a good opportunity to try new stuff I appreciate it.
You should invite your friends, especially if you're in a feature.
Oh, yeah.
That they can see, those jokes that you sneak by them.
They're going to be like, wait a minute, we heard about this one already.
Yeah, hopefully they'll appreciate it.
But yeah, I've been grateful for I've like dragged them to all the shows. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I've been booked often for being new, because I mean, I am lucky to have good friends. They're very supportive, so they've like come to a lot of the shows. I was supposed to be on one recently, and then I'm like you, I get to places like way too early, because I'm that type of person who's always panicking about the worst. But when I got there, it was a wrestling show.
Wow.
It was very confusing. There was no comedy show.
Wow.
But I'm hoping to make a set about it because it was so bizarre.
Yeah, that sounds bizarre.
It was like normal looking dudes like you, like dressed like this, and then they would go to the bathroom, and then they came out looking like weird Hulk Hogan's.
Wow.
With like glitter and.
Have you ever done like a writing group?
The closest was probably the class I did.
Okay. Would you be interested in doing it? Because I have trying to get people to come to my workshop, comedy or worse writing workshops on Saturdays.
I think because I mean, for me, I need like accountability.
Yeah, you should come.
Yeah, I get very
Saturdays.
okay. I get like very like I'll get like a writer's block and I can't do. So if I'm around other people who are, it'll make me like actually write something down instead of just have random musings in my head.
Yeah, it's Saturdays, Quantum Brewing from 4 to 6, right before the open mic.
Okay, that's good to know. When did you start comedy?
This is year 6.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I wish I would have started earlier. Oh, I saw some like in 2022. I saw a post that says 10 years ago, 2012.
Oh.
And I had posted jokes, but I didn't actually go up on stage. I'm like, I wish I would have started in 2012.
But I think you were more ready 6 years ago than
exactly.
God knows.
Everything just lined up.
And then now you're creating a big space for other comics too, which is helpful.
Yeah, it's not 7 days a week, but it's 2, so there we go.
I mean, but that's... Well, sometimes I think it needs a break. People don't... I mean, I know, like, I need to be better about, like, hustling and going to more open mics or whatever, but I'm tired.
Right.
But I think sometimes it's good to, like, sit with your thoughts and marinate on them and then go to the open mic and try them out. But, I mean, it's... I think also, like, I like your open mic because you can meet other people, too, who are doing comedy, which has been helpful.
Yeah. I'm also, trying to draw an audience there. It's on Eventbrite. I figured out to not make it free because people just say they're going to come.
Yeah.
And then not. And it's not a paid show. It's donation based. So occasionally, like people, like they have 2 that are sold for the Saturday the 21st show. So that's exciting.
No, that's good.
Yeah. So that's, and usually those people are going to come because they paid some money to do it.
How come they don't do one here like that instead of doing it like every night making no money? Like just do like what ACC or Just
I
make it
don't
like
know.
just
Advertise
it as a shit show.
Robert has his ideas about comedy.
Oh.
He's owned a comedy club for a long time. He's very set in his ways. It's a lot of work to run a comedy
That's
club, and he's trying to get it to where we make enough money during the shows where we could lose money on the open mic and still be in business.
Yeah.
So that's what we're working towards.
Yeah.
So hopefully, anybody, tell every comic that if you're on a show at Madhouse, promote it, help sell tickets, and hopefully bring back the open mic. Yeah.
No, that'd be good. I live super close, so for me, I'm like, no. When it was like close, I was like, no. I should have started earlier. When they had it I would try to get courage. I'm like, today's the day. I'm gonna go. And then I'd be like, no. And then I think I did it twice in the brick room. And then surprisingly they both went well. So I was like, oh. And then they were like, it's closed. I was like, no. Finally had courage. And then it closed a month later.
Right.
But that's okay.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
It is what it is.
Can't go back in time.
No, I mean, I'm glad when I started. I think I've had more weird life events that could be made into bits than if I was younger.
Yeah.
Or
but
whatever.
You definitely should come to the writing.
Yeah, it will make me, just like the gym, like going with someone makes you be like, oh, I can't take a nap at the gym.
You that at least I will be there. And if you're there, then that will be.
Do I have to contribute or hear? Because sometimes
So you.
I feel bad, but I don't think some people are funny, and I don't want their advice.
You don't have to listen to anybody's advice.
Okay.
But
I can just.
But,
I
yeah.
just would like
So
to be
what-
around
so-
other people writing, so then it'll make me write.
Oh.
Because I'm lazy and have no discipline to do it on my own.
Well, I mean, you can come and then just write, but the idea is for each person to say an idea or a joke, and then people give feedback, and then take turns.
Okay.
But you don't have to listen to any of their advice.
That's true.
And you could just give other people advice and not even go, oh no, I'm going to pass this week, and not even say anything to somebody.
I guess for me, I'm always like, my advice sucks. I never feel comfortable giving advice because I'm just like, ugh, it's
but what's
terrible.
funny.
That's
You
true.
know what you find funny.
That's true.
And you
But
know how to write jokes.
I don't know. I don't like. That's true.
But I think
I
you
don't know.
just should
Just
try.
no rape jokes like your friends. That's what I'll say. That'll be my advice to everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
No, men can't get rape jokes. No, beating up your wife jokes when you're talking about yourself. Making it awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not the good kind of awkward.
I brought to the Stood Up Live. I brought a lot of my friends because I was new, so I was inviting everybody. But then they all got freaking mad at me because I guess one of the comics during the show did a roofie joke, and they were like, and I'm like, that's not my fault. I'm like, it's a comedy show. What are you expecting? What are you expecting? There's probably gonna be. No, they were all like, I didn't feel comfortable with the roofie joke. I was like, I'm sorry, but I got 4 different text messages from different friends. I was like, I didn't know why y'all were so sensitive.
Well, I don't know.
But they still come to all my stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, even for myself, I was like, no roofie joke. Not like I would make a roofie joke, but still. I was like, I didn't think it was that bad. But apparently.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it happens, and
for me, I'm always
you're
just,
aware of it.
I'm always like,
I don't know.
just, if it's from a certain source, what are you going to expect?
Yeah.
It's one thing if Oprah did a roofie joke, then I'd be like, you should know better. But if it's just a dingy young comic male, they don't know any better.
Right.
But I'm also it's a comedy show. But anyway, again, I don't know where I was going with that either.
Yeah.
But Sometimes
That's
when
the
I
worst thing
do.
about comedy. Is making jokes that people should know better.
Well,
If it's a
it's
sensitive topic, you better make it funny.
yeah. That's why I think sometimes for me, I get worried about like if I don't care if I offend anyone because like that it just happens. But at the same time, I don't want to trigger someone into the abyss. I don't know.
Right.
But then I'm like, then why are you going to a comedy show? Like, go to like a Brene Brown
You
conference.
can't control other people's emotions.
Yeah,
They
but
might-
I know they were there to support me. They weren't really there for a comedy show. So then when they hear like rape or roofie jokes, they're like, ah.
Honestly, think about it. There's people can come here from other countries, right? There's cultures where they see you go up on stage and tell a joke, and they're offended because you're a woman.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
you can't please everybody.
No, I do find it funny that the more sensitive people are very supportive of a certain culture right now that doesn't even let women go to school or have gay people have rights. I'm like, shouldn't you be supporting the other one? Who does? I'm not going to say any of those countries' names, but it can be inferred.
Yeah, do your homework.
They're just like, free man. And I'm like, you would be the first person they would kill because you're gay and a girl. Or a they. So, but that's just, but they're always the ones that are like, ah. I'm like, I'm sorry. But I'm like, what are you expecting? I'm like, again, if it's like Taylor Swift or Oprah or whatever, if they did a roofie joke, I'd be disappointed in them. But if it's like a young, stupid comic, of course that's something they're going to say.
Right. And there's a lot of people that wouldn't make a joke like they were going to roofie somebody, right?
It was like a roofie in college joke. I just joked back. I'm like, he doesn't know he's not smart enough to go to college. I was just like, sorry. Apologies.
I want to apologize for other people. I'm sorry.
No, I wanna
you
go.
didn't know this was a comedy show.
Yeah, I'm like, no, some of the things, if I know who's on the show, when I invite certain people, I'll preface, like, you might want to skip.
Trigger warnings here.
No, but yeah, which is weird. I think it's hard for me because, like, my biological family is super liberal, like, except for my mother. But my dad's side of the family is, like, left. And then the white people I moved in, alt-right. And then my best friend family is like alt-right too. So I've always felt like I had to chameleon or make jokes about both sides because they're both, I think, in my opinion, ridiculous. But for me, it also does make me have to be like, trigger warning. Or like, don't say something offensive to everyone. Like, I'm very just like, like worried about what I'm going to say, which is hard when you're a comic.
Yeah.
But then I also have no filter. So it's a fine line.
I think you do pretty good with no filter.
Thanks. Yeah. Sometimes I go completely off the rails. Like I was on a Good Bar show the other day, and I was supposed to do like my regular set. I completely went off the rails about like I was talking about how I was religious, and so I joined the dating apps when I was like 24, virgin on everything. I never even kissed a guy. I was so like naive. But my sister married a guy she met on Tinder. And so my dumbass thought that Tinder was like a safe, nice app for people. I didn't know it was like straight people Grindr. So yeah, but sometimes like having no filter and just going off the rails and not being prepared with the set is actually more fun.
Yeah, I was just listening to a podcast, and and it's like, I think for me it's hard. Like when you're in dating mode. Like, don't reveal too much. And
I gave up on dating.
Like, I never really, I fail at that all the time.
That's good,
so
though.
Open.
That's good that you're genuine.
You're just, like, I guess that's...
Are you an overshare? I'm a total oversharer.
Yeah.
I literally, within
absolutely.
15 minutes, is like, what mental health diagnosis do you have? What meds have you been on? What I can recommend.
Yeah.
Complete oversharing. I'm not good at small talk either. I always end up talking about like dead things too. It's just always like morbid.
Yeah.
which I feel like you're similar-ish, less dark, but.
Well, I mean, I have dark thoughts, but I'm, trying to bring joy to the world, and it's hard to. I haven't figured out how to make the dark stuff funny yet. So.
I feel like most of my humor is dark, or goes there naturally, but hopefully it's funny. I don't know. I've never been like a live, laugh, love energy type of person. I don't know how to do that. Even my therapist, like, she was trying to help me, like, basically stay positive, but she told me I don't even notice that, like, my last sentence always ends up being more, like, dark or negative. I'm like, oh dear, I don't even notice.
And, like, texting or something?
No, just talking with, like, listing, like, things to be grateful for, and I'll list it, and then I'll end up dark or complaining about something, and I don't even like realize I do that. But I think it makes me funny and charming.
Yeah.
Because I just say what we're all complaining about internally, out loud.
Yeah. Exactly. Makes sense.
But I would never be like a good trainer or like coach, because you have to be like, yay, happy, positive.
Right.
Whereas I'm more like, keep going. Because it's mean to kill yourself.
Exactly. It's mean to everybody else.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And it's mean to your future self.
That's right.
Because you won't have a future self. Or then also think about it if you fail to do it.
Ew.
Yeah, you can be still alive, but in not a good place. So.
Yeah, no.
Don't do it.
No.
Get help.
I think for me, like, I've always been, like, I think prone to depression, and then as a kid, they forced me in the psych hospital, and then when I was 22, I was in a psych hospital. So, I don't know. I think I get people why they end themselves, because when you're feeling that low about yourself, you think you're a burden. Because I do get annoyed when people are like, it's so, like, selfish if someone kills themselves about, like, I'm like, literally, when you're that depressed, you're not even, your brain's gone. Like, you legit think that you're a burden to society, and that's why it happens. But yeah, at the same time, like, I am grateful now to be in a more healthier place of, like, no, like, there's still potential out there, and, like, you might not be a Taylor Swift level of fame, but you still have influence, and you still make a big difference.
Exactly.
And
you can't, the movie It's a Wonderful Life.
I love that movie.
Yeah. You just can't in your head think, or just like him, he thought his things would have been better without him. But
I love that movie. My grandma, on my dad's side, she had that on like VHS, so we would watch it every year, and it's still free on YouTube.
Nice.
If anyone wants it for free. Don't have.
Just watch it anytime.
Yeah, no, I watch it in July. It's a great movie. They don't make movies like that anymore. But that movie wasn't even popular when it came out, because I think it was the same year as The Wizard of Oz, or Gone with the Wind. I forget. It like came out the same time as I think World War II was going on, and then another big movie came out. So like no one knew about it. It didn't become popular until it became syndicated.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, I love that movie. Jimmy Stewart? Is that the actor?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the most famous actor in it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
I watched him in Harvey. I think that's the other movie I saw him in. And then I like those old school movies.
That's cool. So, have you ever been in a sketch, or would you be in a sketch?
I was in one, but I don't think they're doing anything with it. Honestly, I hope they're not doing anything with it.
Okay.
I'm just hoping it goes away. Because I agreed to it, but then when I think at that time, because I was even newer to comedy, I was just trying to say yes to everything. But then when I read the script, I was like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping. But it's been months now, and they haven't posted it. So I'm like, I hope it hit them. This is
How bad it is?
terrible. It'll be up tonight probably, and I'll be like, but I think I am grateful to be asked, but looking back, I'm like, I need to not.
Yeah, you got to get script approval.
Yeah, I'm like, I should have said no.
Let me see the script first.
No, I did see it, and I still said yes. But looking back, I'm like, this was dumb. I don't. Even if one person watched this, I don't want. But it is what it. Are you in sketches? Do you do?
I've done sketches. Trying to do more sketches. But,
I don't think I'm a good actor.
well, you're acting like a human right now. So there you go.
No, I think I'm not a good actor. Very impressed with people who, because like there's a lot of comedians who now are like viral on TikTok because they do sketches and it's like rehearsed, but they're very good at it. I don't feel like I would be good.
Well, I mean, if you have
that.
the right character, you just play a character that's so close to yourself that you can even just be in a sketch to play yourself, right?
I guess that's true.
You don't have to be a good actor. You just have to follow directions. Action.
And then just keep going.
You're doing it.
I know.
Yes.
But I thought
Right,
I thought the sketch has a script.
Well, I mean, some sketches are kind of like, okay, you're gonna play yourself, and you're just gonna react to this scene, and it's a possibility.
Oh.
The world is infinite possibilities. Don't let one style.
I think because mine had lines, and then I didn't like the lines, but then I didn't know. Anyway, hopefully I don't think they'll post it. They're like they're too like known now. I think that would diminish them. They would not. That's right. But
That's good.
I don't know.
Yeah, you hear that? You're too known now.
Yeah,
throw that away.
They're too known.
Or at
That would
least
be
cut-
backwards
or at
for
least just
them.
cut her character out totally.
I think they can blur, and there's all these technologies now, like this orb, so they can just, yeah. It was again one of those where I'm like, wow, these men just have so much confidence to write this and do this. Meanwhile, I was like, no. But I do admire their confidence.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to post it, because I think if they were, they would have done it by now. But now that they're more well known, it's probably not up to their standard.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Yep. They probably already posted. You just didn't notice.
Don't tag me.
They're like, oh, this is horrible.
Well, yeah.
We're not tagging anybody.
I'm sure. I know. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Or if they have any common sense, hopefully that's what happened. I know the guy who leads it has common sense, so hopefully he was like, "Nah, I am known now. I do not need this."
Yeah. Or maybe all the files got lost.
Well, that's yes. But I don't know. Part of me is like, who cares? Even if they posted it. But there's always the back of my mind. I'm like, well, what if I do get Netflix special one day, and then they pull up past tweets from 2024 when I said this or was in that sketch. So you never know. I don't get when people are getting canceled for tweets they said in like 2007. It was a different time back then. It's not, especially some of the people get canceled. It's like they're from the South. They're from Hicktan, Appalachia land. Of course they're not going to know these things.
I don't.
That's why they're that dumb to tweet that into the universe.
What we have to do as a society is realize that, I don't know how we forgot this. We used to really know this, that time marches on and you can't dwell in the past. You know, people change.
Yeah.
For the better.
Like, clearly that person has changed because their current content doesn't reflect that at all. And that's why you're all surprised that they tweeted that in like 2007. But then they like bully that person who tweeted that nonsense when they were 13 years old. But I'm like, you could tell how stupid they were. Who would tweet that?
Part
of
it
Jesus
is
Christ.
That we're like, it's mob mentality, and people, for a long time, people in power just stayed in power and never got called out for stuff. So we're just trying to figure the balance. Sometimes swings too far, you know, and people are critical of things that don't make any sense. Oh, that was so long ago, you know, and like you have to understand people change. So why holding someone accountable for something that if it was really that bad, the people at the time should have dealt with it, right? And you know, and yeah, I don't know. It's very complicated.
I'm also like, for their own PR team, I'm like, no one like filtered through when they became more popular. Like, no one filtered through their tweets from 2007 that might have been garbage. That's what always confused me. I'm like, they never bothered to like delete. But
I don't know.
But I'm also like, what weirdo is like going back that far down? That's the more questionable behavior than what was tweeted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, who is sitting there? And
like,
I mean, like, she posted that.
Like, I found someone's new following me on Instagram or whatever, and I like go back, and then I have to be careful not to like something. Like, oh my god, was that too far back?
I don't know.
I didn't even. Sometimes, honestly, like sometimes
It's
I forget
horrible.
that I'm looking at one person, and I'm just scrolling through. It's not like I'm like trying to look back. It's like, you know, it's like
You
your
just
feed.
doom scroll.
You're just,
No.
yeah, you're just
No, I do
scrolling,
that
and
too.
You're like, oh, wait a minute, this is the same person. I gotta get back to the regular feed.
There was a comic I saw recent. I think he was on Don't Tell Comedy too. He was at ACC. I forget his name. He's, I think, from UK. I don't know if he's Irish. He'd probably be. I don't know. But he does like a set that's funny about like stalking someone, like an ex on Instagram, and then he went to like her boring new partner, and then he ended up on like that partner's dog's Instagram page, and then by like 3 hours at 3 p.m. he was on like some completely second cousin of like, which is so true. I've like totally done that. I also like cringe too. I didn't know on do you have TikTok?
Yeah.
I wish I never. It's so addicting. I wish I never. But anyway, I didn't know if you click on someone's page, it shows them that you looked. And so I, when I joined TikTok, it says like, oh, people you may know. They have like your contacts pop up. This dude, I was in a situationship when I first joined like the app, so I was like 24. Popped up, and so I was like, oh, so I like clicked on his profile, and I'm like, but then I didn't know, because then once I made mine and I like saw people, I was like, no. I was like, stupid TikTok, embarrassing, cringing, but
yeah,
whatever.
I need to like use it more or just not, or I don't know, because a lot of times I just look at, because there's a notification, and like as soon as you open the app, they're trying to show you an ad. It's like, it's crazy.
I like, because I had like the cuckoo X, I like deleted social media for like 3 years. So then when I like came back on, especially now for comedy, trying to be more public, I'm like, God, what the hell happened to social media? It's horrible. It's all like a QVC ad. It's like, I don't even see my friends' pictures. It's like an ad for something.
What you have to do is have a separate list of your friends, and then just click on their profiles and go back.
Yeah, I wish they.
Like,
I know TikTok
algorithm.
has but like most of my friends don't use TikTok. They just like stuff. But like Instagram, I wish they would like separate your regular friends so you can actually see their life, and then like the more public stuff. Because I'm like, God, this is a smorgasbord of nonsense. I didn't even, it's like a friend of a friend, but like I didn't know she even got married, because it's like, it doesn't pop up. It's just like ads, random.
Yeah.
It's very strange. But then I think also too, for comedy, like you do, I feel like, have to be kind of on social media now, which sucks, because I hate it.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to like be on it forever. Just post your stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to, my goal for this next year is to like make my Instagram page like actually for comedy. Right now I'll just like put it on my story. Oh, sorry. And that's it. But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just put it on. I did put, like when I was on Quantum, I did put that one. That was the first comedy thing I like actually put on my page. And I'm like, Christine, no one gives a fuck. But for me, I'm like, okay, gonna put it on the regular page.
Right, yeah, I'm trying to follow some of the advice that I've heard. It just takes time. It's like for comedy, you have the flyer up when the show's coming up, and then you're supposed to take the flyer down off your grid, and just have clips and pictures from your life, and either a comedy show or whatever. People live vicariously through you. So the only flyer should be in there is for upcoming shows, and then after you do a post, you should make it a story, and then you can put the stories in the highlight and have shows.
Yeah, someone needs to do a workshop about that, because for me, I think also just like I'm like, because I literally I couldn't have social media because I had this like cuckoo idiot stalking me all the time. So like now trying to be more public with comedy, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna put it on the story and ta-da. But I know like if I want to get anywhere with comedy, it's like you have to actually market yourself.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
Yeah, it's just another aspect of comedy, I guess. But also there are times where like you write something and this is a joke that it would be better in text, like a picture, text, and then there's stuff is like, this is better for the stage, or this is better for a skit or a sketch. You just have to kind of like get that sense of, or this would be better as like, a short story,
Are you good at like, I feel like I'm an overthinker, so then all of the stuff you just described starts like melting into one monster. Then I sit on my couch and do nothing and my dog judges me. Like, how do you like compartmentalize or just like do this and then do this and then do this?
Well, I mean, what people have to remember to do is just sit and think, right?
I do think it's just too much. It's so much.
All I can tell you is what's worked for me. Is I sit down to be productive. So I think, okay, today's Thursday. Quantum Brewing is Friday, Saturday, right? It's like kind of you get in these rhythms. Like, I want to get better at doing this. Okay, what day is best for that? The beginning of the week, it's better to start promoting stuff that's at the end of the week. So you just kind of like get into these habits of, it's like, like the podcast. These are really the best times. Like Thursday at 6:00 is a good time for me to record. Because I get off early at work at 6 Thursdays, and then I can sit through. Just because you get off early doesn't mean you can get to where you're going early, right? So it's like the traffic is way worse, but it's like 3:30 in the afternoon, and it takes me. It only took like 45 minutes today, but there's time it takes an hour. It should only take about 30 minutes at the most with no traffic. So you always have to factor that in. So it's just, I guess I just have more free time now too. It's like, I think the hardest part is to it's so easy to distract yourself with all this content. It's just, I guess I just did that for so long that I start to want to be creative. So I just want to be creative, and so I know that. So then I just kind of plan my schedule around that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it also helps to, like the podcast, I'm banking episodes, right? So record it and then try to upload it to the cloud, do these steps ahead of time to when it comes down to doing the part that's the worst, at least I don't have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
You know. And then sometimes it helps to like I could like listen to something while I do something monotonous and boring. You know, and kind of like give yourself a treat. You know, because I'm sitting in front of a computer. It's so easy to get distracted by. There's so many things to do, and you get overwhelmed. It's like you just have to go, okay, close all those other tabs. I'm gonna upload the episode, right? So it goes to YouTube, it goes to Spotify, it goes to the Patreon, but all you have to do is be a member, and you can do that for free.
Yeah.
You know, so at least for now, I'm trying to I have 2 people that have signed up for free membership, so they can listen or they can watch the episode on Patreon I don't put any ads in, but you know, like YouTube, like this episode's going to be like about an hour and a half, right? So if you don't have YouTube Premium, you're going to have to sit through or skip commercials, right? So, but on Patreon, it's the raw file, and you can just listen to it.
Oh.
So closing tabs that are distracting. I don't have notification. You know, don't let any website or program have any notifications on my computer, so that I can just. I also like use like do not disturb mode, and you can like make exceptions for like your mom or like.
Oh no, my mom would be completely do not disturb.
Right.
Do not disturb.
She's
She's reading like I was sharing with my friends yesterday. One thing good about my mom is she's endless content. She's reading an End of the Times book. She's become really religious. It's about a dragon, she says, and the dragon is a metaphor for Satan.
Okay.
I know, and it's about the mystery of the sea peoples and the colors of the apocalypse.
It sounds like
I thought it
fantasy.
was a fiction. I thought she was reading.
Yeah.
I saw the cover, yes, because she's nice to watch my dog. So I like dropped him off, and then I saw this book, and I was like, oh, did Harry Potter have a prequel? Like, what the hell is this? And it's called The Dragon Prophecy, and I was like, oh, there's my mom. Because Smut's, have you heard of Smut? It's like popular with females. There's like dragon books called like Fourth Wing and Akatar. It's really like if you do end up dating your potential dates. We'll talk about these books. They're like about fantasy novels, but they have a lot of unnecessary steam in the book. Anyway, so I was like, is my mom getting into Smut? What the hell is happening? But nope, it's the end times, about Israel and Hamas and the sea peoples and the colors of the apocalypse. Wow. And I was like, Ma, what the hell are you reading?
That doesn't sound good.
She was like, oh, I saw it on YouTube. I saw an ad, so I bought it.
Oh, no.
She's like, God is using Trump. I'm like, what? I'm like, please help.
Oh, my goodness. Well, the good news is that ads work, everybody.
That's my tangent on YouTube. I'm like, Ma.
There's no outside ads, but
I'm concerned what she's watching.
You should buy my merch. Don't
buy his merch.
Yeah, don't buy other stuff.
Well, I'm confused because like all my YouTube ads are like Sephora or like an actual fantasy novel or whatever. I'm like, what is she watching that her ad is this?
Right.
The sea peoples, you know.
Interesting.
I am confused. I do kind of want to figure out what the sea peoples are. But her summary was, God is using President Trump. I'm like, I don't know, you should read Kurichan. I'm like, no, thank you. But I'm like, what are your ads? So, anyway. The point is get ad blocker. Don't watch ads or YouTube, except to buy your merch.
Yes. Yeah, well, I don't have YouTube ads for that. That costs money. Exactly. Well, looks like the show is going to start soon, so we should probably end the podcast. Thank you so much for doing the podcast.
I appreciate you having me.
All right, this has been another episode of Comedy
or Worse.
All right, say bye.
Bye.
Bye.